Why is it when your actions feel too easy, you sabotage yourself? Hey ladies, another day, another podcast. You know who I am. I'm Heather Chauvin. And if you are not familiar with my work, we're getting a lot of newbies listening to the podcast. Welcome. Mamas in Control is not about controlling your outsides. It's about controlling your insides and feeling in alignment with your life, whether it's in your parenting, your work, your career, your health, your mind, your body, your soul, a relationship, your money. When you control one area of your life from a healthy place, not controlling because you feel out of control, but feeling like, I got this, I know what I'm doing. Everything is connected. And as I started my business many, many years ago, it was through my own personal journey as a mother of 3 boys where I found myself feeling out of control, yelling, overwhelmed, sick, almost dead, on the verge of divorce, on the verge of bankruptcy, and just feeling depleted in every aspect of my life. And so I slowly started, first with parenting, and then realizing the alignment and connection between all areas of my life. And so now, as I continue to improve and adjust and connect with certain buckets of my life, I realize, wow, when I'm in control of my food and I feel healthy and in alignment, or when I'm working out my body, this directly affects my parenting. This directly affects my marriage. And so as women, Mamas in Control is about you feeling alive, fully energized, realizing your potential, and feeding that voice inside of you that says, there's something more. There is something more. So if you're not already, check me out on Instagram at Mamas in Control and follow us on Facebook at Heather Chauvin. Okay, so let's dive in. Today I want to talk about why we sabotage ourselves when things are going good. And I believe it doesn't matter how much, you can have a PhD in psychology, you can read every self-help book out there. We need to realize that changing habits is uncomfortable. Simply put. Changing habits is uncomfortable, whether it's the habit of stop smoking or the habit of getting up a little bit earlier or the habit of keeping your mouth shut when you want to scream and yell at somebody else or the habit of reacting when you want to be more proactive instead of reactive. We need to realize that changing anything in our lives is uncomfortable. There's a lot that's going on in the brain. There's a lot that's going on in our belief system. There's a lot that's going on in our identity attached to our habits. Who am I if I stop drinking? Who am I if I stop working out? Who am I if I start working out? Who am I if I wake up early? Who am I if I say no to these types of functions and yes to ones that fill me up? The more in alignment that you feel in your life, the better you're going to feel. But in order to get there, we have to let go of a lot that is not serving us. And that could simply be people pleasing. People pleasing is a habit. Yes, I will do that. Oh, yes, let's go there. When really your gut and your soul and all part of you is saying, no, that doesn't work for me. So Mamas in Control is about helping you align with who you really are. And most of the time, when we start to understand emotional intelligence and we start to act and implement from that place that feeds our soul, people around us are generally the ones that love us the most and that are committed to relationships with us, like our family and children. Most of the time might experience a little discomfort, but come back around and say, you've changed. You seem happier. So that's what I'm here to help you do. So James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, I've been listening and binging on this book. And I talked a lot about, you got to stop focusing on your goals. You have to focus on the process, the daily actions to get there. When we jump from 1 to 60, we're looking at 60 going, I'm never going to get there. And it's these unsexy daily little habits, the little incremental changes that might, be 1 degree more or 1% better. And those are the things that change our life. But James was talking about how our identity is so attached to our habits. And so once we start making these little subtle shifts, you'll feel good. And it's in that discomfort of the magic that happens where you start to rewire your brain. So I'm going to give you an example. So me and food. When I came into this world, My childhood and 20s were all about suffering. It was all about life needs to be hard. Life, everything was hard. It was hard to make money. It was hard to be healthy. Not enough, not enough, not enough. I grew up in a very lack mindset mentality. And when you do this, you take on the belief, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm like, this was just the reality of my existence, which is the reality for a lot of people. So I grew up with this belief that life needed to feel hard. So when you listen to a book or you implement a habit that's like, you know what, just wake up 5 minutes earlier a day. Just meditate for 3 minutes a day. Just do 5 push-ups a day. Just work out for, I don't know, whatever. When you start to make these little subtle shifts, your brain will say, this isn't making a difference. But the science behind it, the research behind it is, yes, 100% it's making a difference. If you show up every single day doing little shifts, you will achieve your results. They're guaranteed. You just don't give up. So in my own life, I'm going to take food, for example. What would happen is I was an all or nothing person. So I would either plan perfectly, and it felt very hard when I was planning, and I would execute. And 3 days later, when I would run out of food, I would just stop eating and I would busy myself and say, I don't have time to eat. And of course, I got validation from the outside world saying, yes, motherhood needs to feel so hard. If you're not drowning and it's not hard, you're not doing it right. So I said, okay, great. I'm on the right path. This is hard. I feel sick. I must be on the right path because you have to suffer to be a good mom. And when I started dissecting that and saying, this doesn't work for me anymore. I'm not going to become one of those people. I have to jump outside of a cultural norm and I'm going to feel full, goddammit. So I started to shift and said, okay, what is the habit that I don't like? The negative habit. The negative habit is not eating because I don't prepare food. So instead of subscribing to one eating methodology, I said, I'm just going to batch a whole bunch of food, whether it's green beans, sweet potatoes, chicken, broccoli, I don't know. I'm just going to batch a whole bunch of food, put it in the fridge, and every day I'm going to plop some of that food in a container, a little bit of everything, and I'm going to eat consistently. At first, implementing that habit felt hard. It was uncomfortable, but I was overcomplicating it. And the reason why I was overcomplicating it is because my belief was, this needs to be hard. If it's not hard, you're not doing it right. So I started eating every day, and I'm like, this is too easy. Like, are you serious? This is all I have to do? And then my brain went to, well, are you losing weight? I'm like, I don't fucking care if I'm losing weight. I'm healthier. I feel more energized. I can tell from my energy that something is shifting. Who cares if it's not perfect? Who cares if it isn't the perfect diet that's going to get me into XYZ bathing suit? Who fucking cares? Am I alive? Yes. Do I feel good? Yes. Great. That's all that matters. So I focused on changing that little habit of eating consistently first. And then this is what happens. I keep refining. I keep saying, okay, how can I make this 1 degree better? It's getting easy. It's feeling easy, right? Wow. Now I've shifted into the mindset of pre-planning is a part of my lifestyle. Pre-planning is a part of who I am. I don't even know who I would be without it. My body is just automatic. Okay, Heather, time to do this. Put it in the container. Okay, eat the food. I'm getting in the routine and the daily habit of that. Now, this is the combo I had with my husband. Another habit I have to break. Why is it when I start to feel good physically, I want to eat chips, I want to binge, I want to go to that shitty restaurant? Why? Is it because feeling good is something I'm not used to? Is it because feeling good is, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times we're trying to understand why we do what we do. And we do not give ourselves enough credit that we're human. And so I've been observing this, and part of the habit that I'm working towards now is breaking the habit of pretending that I deserve something because I feel good. Because personally, in my own life, I feel like that is my mind trying to manipulate me and mask itself that I need to sabotage you, Heather. Why is it that you're feeling good and all of a sudden, momentum's there, it feels easy, right? Eat, rinse and repeat, eat, rinse and repeat. And then you feel great, and all of a sudden this thing pops up in your head, sabotage. You deserve it. Go eat shit. Why would I want to eat shit? Not literal crap, by the way. Why would I want to put crap into my body? Because I know I'm going to feel like crap. Why am I trying to sabotage this good feeling? This is where the magic happens. In that moment, what is happening is your brain is saying, okay, you've done all the non-sexy work, taken the daily steps to get to this moment. Do not screw it up. I'm going to test you. I'm going to bring in a saboteur, and I'm going to put a mask on it, pretending that you are here to feel good. You are here to reward yourself. But the truth is, don't buy into his illusion. Because he's here to sabotage you. So in that moment, that is the discomfort you need to work through. That is the discomfort you need to work through. This is why I'm convinced that as women, there's an epidemic of feeling so tired, miserable, and exhausted because we have been rewarded for sacrificing ourselves. And I even find it kind of hilarious when people say, I sacrificed so much to be where I am today with the success. And I think, what have you sacrificed? What have you sacrificed? Putting all that shit into your body? What have you sacrificed? Spending time with people that you really didn't want to spend time with anyways? What have you sacrificed? And why do you feel like you have to sacrifice something in order to achieve a successful result? Because ultimately, success should feel good. Every day should feel good. And there is a difference between temporary discomfort and a lifetime of misery. So when I'm standing there on the edge going, Heather, you've been so good for 3 days. Why do you want to eat this meal right now? You're not even hungry. Why do you want to eat it? I am not sacrificing a shitty meal to reward myself. That is not sacrifice. That is sabotage. So when I push through the discomfort and I take a few baby steps forward and I get through that craving and I'm on the other side, what I've just done is told my brain, I am committed to becoming the person that I desire to be. That is temporary discomfort. That craving is not going to last the rest of my life. But what will last the rest of your life is the resentment and anger that you hold towards yourself and others because you refuse to make yourself temporarily uncomfortable. So, I am on this kick of habits, and I am right there with you, ladies. I always say I am a student before I am a teacher, and I am one of those teachers that will practice what I preach or I won't preach it. I understand the discomfort that comes with becoming your best self. Our potential is limitless. We all have the capability to do anything that our soul craves. That is why the desire has been put inside of you. But the truth is, we are primal beings, and our brain will do everything in its power to stop us from our soul craving, from our purpose. The closer you get to it, I'm going to sneeze. the closer you get to it, the more uncomfortable you're going to feel. And that is when you know you're in the right direction. So after almost a decade of investing in myself and chronically showing up, progress, not perfection, I've noticed that it doesn't get easier. It's the mindset of this is easy. So if you've been thinking about taking the leap or jumping and you're so done trying to figure everything out by yourself, I have a solution for you. On February 22nd, I am hosting a one-day women's mastermind here in Windsor, Ontario. And this is going to be a magical experience. I have some guest teachers coming in to do workshops with you. My ghostwriter will be there. She's going to be talking about pulling that message out of you that you most desire to express in the world. You do not need to be a business owner to attend this event. If there's something, if you've always thought, I want to make an impact, but how can I express this to the world? She's going to be talking about that and doing some activities with us. I also have somebody coming in talking about focus and potential. She's actually a former client who speaks to other women now about focus and shiny object syndrome and how easy it is to try to overcomplicate the process of making more money in your business or becoming your best self. So the theme for this is leadership, sustainable leadership. There are so many ways we overcomplicate things. We can make this easy and simple and sustainable, but we got to understand the science behind it. So I hope you will join us. Tickets are on sale and they will be, the early bird price goes up after February 16th, I believe. All the details are at momisincontrol.com/1 day. So I look forward to seeing you there. And if you have any questions, you can email us at support@heatherchauvin.com.